That's right. We back at it again. Welcome back to another Bleach chapter review with me, Captain Visor Days. We live action. You already know what it is. Now, this is Bleach chapter 583, titled The Headless Star 2. So we see it starts out with the four Star Knight girls. They're attacking Ichigo with their bow and arrows. I mean, we see they all have their own respected signature arrow, which I thought was cool. And naturally, it has no effect on Ichigo, and Ichigo is still tossing them around. He tosses Candace to the side of a building, and the other three are just hitting her one after another. She gets pissed off and charges up with this big bolt of electricity. They all fly away. And then the other three start to think that Ichigo is very strong and hella annoying. And at that point, Candace, she's just pissed off. She activates her final holy form in this sweet side panel. I will admit, it looked kind of sweet. And the other three, they were just shocked. Star Knight but Star Knight G was just looking like, really, like, is this even necessary? And Star Knight Z was going on to say she doesn't like the final holy form, it's very tiring. And Star Knight P was saying that, yeah, he is annoying, but is it really necessary to slaughter him? And Candace, she's like, damn that. How can you stand in front of your majesty and not be able to tell him that we won, that we beat this guy? If we do beat Ichigo, the #1 person on the war potential list, then he can grant us any of our wishes. And at that point, because the other three, they were actually thinking, like, let's just forget him, let's ignore him. And after she said that, they started to think of all the things that Juha can grant them. And we see Star Knight P, she's looking up thinking. In the background, you can see like a chandelier and nice curtains and everything. And Star Knight G thinking of food. And Star Knight Z just looking up, a little drool, and you just see darkness behind her. Like, she's just, whatever. So that's when Candace, she takes off. And she goes to attack Ichigo. At that point, she pulls out her dual lightning bolt shaped blades. And she goes to attack Ichigo. Ichigo, he thinks it's perfect because he's a dual wielder, she's a dual wielder. But she corrects him and says, no, I have 6 blades. And she pushes Ichigo back. He's sliding up on the air. And she throws a Galvano javelin. And at that point, you see Ichigo. Man, he takes his shoulder Zanpakuto. And it looks like he swipes or cuts or just puts a stream of energy. And the panel zooms in on his eye. He just says, I don't know why, I just can hear him say it calmly. Like, he's not screaming this, he just gets to potential. And then he destroys the Galvano javelin. And at that point, Candace, she's like, don't get too cocky, just because you destroyed my technique with your technique. Let's see if you can make that same, smirk on your face with this. And she charges up this massive, massive jolt of lightning and electricity. And she goes to throw it. And she calls it the electrocution. And when she throws it, Kubo would draw like a little back panel with her ass in the air. But that's the way, how she throws it. When she throws it, Ichigo, he dashes at that motivator. Oh, man. And that's when he draws another slit. And then he comes down with the long Zanpakuto to fire the Getsuga Jujisho. Or Jujisho, whichever one it is. And it makes a cross shape. Big explosion to be continued. That was basically the end of the chapter. Alright, this week's chapter of Bleach, right? I will go on to say, first thing first, let me start off with these girls. I kind of like the fact that out of the 4, the 3 of them are starting to realize there's no point in this. Like, it's no go. He's strong, he's fast, he's annoying. Even though they do want to kill him because they're annoying him, at the same time they know it's no point. I like the fact that they're realizing the fact that this is a no-go. But Candace, she has the temper. She's just determined to defeat him, because not only is Ichigo annoying her, she's thinking about the reward she thinks she'd get for destroying Ichigo, and that's why out of all of them, I'll say Candace and Star Knight G are my least favorite, out of the 4. But even G, she realized, like, hey, let's just give this up. So the thing with Candace's final holy form is I was never a big fan of it. It looks very just generic. I mean, yeah, she has the thing at the top and the wings and slightly different look on her, but it's just, it doesn't really seem like a true next form of something, that like we've seen with previous Star Knights. But anyway, on to the main thing. That's right, Ichigo in this chapter. How do I feel about this technique Ichigo has? Because first, when I found out he has a new technique, I was notified by other reviewer, Ice Titan 123. I was shocked. He told me the chapter was out. I went to read it. I'm like, cool. But with Ichigo being my boy, my favorite character, this right here, I'm not surprised at all that it is yet another form of a Getsuga Tensho. Now you have people who are pleased about this. You have people who are not pleased by it. Some people actually thought it was going to be a whole new ability. Now at first I did think, like, you know what, maybe it will be a whole new ability, but we see it's another form or another type of Tensho. You know, I shouldn't even say Tensho, I'll say a form of Getsuga. But if you think about it, Ichigo isn't the only one. He's not the only one with these type of secondary variations. Look at Byakuya. I mean, he has the what's that? The Shuke, the Goke, the Senke. How Ichigo has the Getsuga Tensho. Now he has the Getsuga Jujisho. So the shows. Ichigo has a lot of Getsuga shows. Getsuga something show. And it could be Getsuga Nyaika show. I mean, you never know. But it did make me wonder though. To do this, couldn't he have done this originally? Like, he just fires Getsuga Tensho horizontally and then Getsuga Tensho vertically. He could have did that. I don't think it probably had the same strength effect, you know, because at that point, he never, well, before he did Jensen, he never knew the true understanding of meditation. He didn't have the appropriate amounts of time of training or the know-how, any of that nature. I mean, any of the things of that nature. So, to me, it was kind of understandable and a little bit justifiable. But in my last video that I did last year regarding Ichigo Kurosaki, it's titled Clearing Up Ichigo Kurosaki's Issues, I talked about this. I clearly said Ichigo, this guy, until his father taught him Jinsen, he never knew about Jinsen. Never. He never had a chance to train. You know, well, he never had a chance to properly train to get his superpowers strengthened. I already went over the episodes and why he didn't, and when he had his somewhat, I would say he had a somewhat chance. He was training with the virus without to increase his hollow power and not his, you know, Shinigami power. So, this is the thing, alright? Ichigo, he's not in Bunkai. Who knows what other techniques he has? I mean, just reserve your judgment, alright? Because Ichigo, he's a late bloomer. Technically, he could have had access to this Getsuga Jujai a long time ago, but we all know what happened when he learned the backstory from his father. The way Juha, what do we call him? Juha Getsu was holding back Ichigo's Shinigami powers. With hollow / Shinigami powers because, you know, he's a Quincy. But the thing is, when he goes in Bunkai, maybe he'll have another form of Getsuga. To be honest, if he has another form of a Getsuga, I hope it'll be something different. I hope it'll have some type of real ability type effect instead of just shooting energy. Because basically it seems like it's just a cross-shaped energy. Like it's just hitting you and just erasing you or hitting you with big impact in a cross manner. Maybe this cross represents how he has Quincy powers. Who knows? But I will say this. I hope it's more of an actual ability, but then again, it all depends on the type of Zanpakuto, because if you look at Toshiro Hitsugai's abilities, he has a lot of different abilities whose names are not really in the same categories, and that go for other Soul Reapers. But at the same time, you have other Soul Reapers, like I explained earlier in this review, with Byakuya, how he has the Senke, Goke, and Shuke, things like that, the KKKs, and then, you know, scratch that, you know, yeah, but you get what I'm saying. So that's why I'm kind of on the fence about it. I'm like, I knew it / I expected something a little bit brand new, but also it made sense, if that makes sense. But this chapter overall, it seemed short, you know, naturally because there was a lot of fighting, very few dialogue. To be honest, man, I hope it plays out like this. These three girls, they get their own different opponents. Maybe some of the Arankars or the Fullbringers. Because clearly Ichigo, he's toying with these girls. He's toying with them. Alright, I mean, he's tossing them around, dodging the arrows. I'm pretty sure if he wants just one shot at these girls, he could. But now the Candace, when her final holy form, she's stronger and faster. Now Ichigo, we see he has to try. But I'm glad he's really trying while he's in his Shikai, because we know Ichigo is famous for going Bunkai, 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 Bunkai. I mean, just so quick. I'm glad he's holding his ground while he's in Shikai, because we barely got that from Ichigo before. Also, these possible things could play out. Ichigo could kill Candace, which I hope he does, and I think he will. And the other three, that'd be a wake-up call. Uh-oh, let's retreat. Forget this. Or all three of them would get pissed and try to attack Ichigo at once in their final holy form. But this is my thing. Maybe they won't retreat because they fear of going back to Juha, saying, Your Majesty, we encountered the number one war potential on the list, and we ran. You know, so maybe they'd be more afraid to report that to Juha, opposed to getting killed by Ichigo. Or maybe they're afraid of losing from Ichigo, and then, hey, they have to die, like the rule goes. But who knows? But to be honest, man, these little girls, I've never big fan of these girls. It's like, so, max, I only expect one more chapter of this 4-girl play, because 2 more chapters of this of these girls, I don't know, because Ichigo, maybe Kubo is just setting this up as to show off Ichigo's speed and power, but don't show it off against enemies that's weaker than you. I mean, show off the true power to people who, opponents to where they're on your same level or closer. Like, have him show off his true power against a Hashwolf or Juha, or hell, even Uryu, something like that, but not these 4 little girls. So 2 more chapters of these girls, I don't know, man, it's going to start to annoy me. But yeah, overall, pretty okay chapter. Next week I'm expecting Candace to die. That'll be cool. This will be technically Ichigo's 2nd human he's ever killed. The first human, we all know who that is. But yeah, give me your thoughts, comments, and concerns. Are you glad about the Getsuga Jujisho or Jujaisho? Do you think Ichigo is going to have a whole new technique? Do you think Ichigo have other techniques? And should you reserve your judgment? Give me your thoughts and comments and concerns in the comment section below. It's me, Captain Vaz. I'll see you all next week. Signing out.